What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Die Hard, back at it again. Let's get right into it. Now, what we're gonna be talking about is Overwatch, how you can climb from the metal ranks all the way to diamond. Now, a little bit of history about me. My name is Die. So far on this channel, I've covered games like Tarkov, DBD, and now today I want to cover Overwatch, and a beloved game, one of my favorite FPS games of all time. I have like a shit ton of hours on this game. I've been playing Overwatch since the beginning, back when it released in 2016. Holy shit, it's been 10 years. But yeah, I love the game. Now I've been somebody that's like on and off this game at times, like especially back of Overwatch 2 release, like even late Overwatch 1. Late Overwatch 1, I played it for a little bit and then stopped. And then early in the middle of Overwatch 2 cycle, I just kind of just stopped playing because those false promises and stuff like that. But let's not get too deep in this. I just wanted to give you a little quick history. But without further ado, the point of this video, by the way, is that um, I'm somebody that likes to get better at games that I play. The more I invest my time into, and Overwatch is like one of those games that's really tough to like be good consistently and also like maintain a high rank. I'm just somebody that just likes to just to play to get better is all I'm trying to say. um so with that, let's get right into it. Now, a quick disclaimer. Um these is like this is not like uh ranked up from the metal ranks to diamond like super quick. The methods I'm gonna be talking about are things that are going to take some time to implement and to get used to and comfortable with. Now, if you're somebody that's been playing a certain way or had a certain play style, some of the things that I'll talk about might not relate to the play style you're already doing. So just bear that in mind. So if you're serious about improving and you really need some, and if you want kind of some constructive criticism and feedback, or just tips in general how to get better, this video is for you. Now, another thing is too, the reason why I'm making this video is that I'm somebody that, like I said, I want to keep playing to get better. My goal for this game is to hit champion because, in case you didn't know, like back in Overwatch 1 on console, I hit top 100. I think my peak SR at the time was like 43 or 4400. I can't look back on it because that data is now gone forever, which kind of sucks. I wish I did save my image, but the season that hit top 100 was season 24, which is where you see like the golden Torbjorn player icon. So and I had the spray as well, so I was very proud of that. Um, and yeah, I just want to keep getting better, and also, and let's say, let's say if you're somebody that doesn't necessarily want to reach to high ranks because it can be toxic sometimes. From my personal experience back on Overwatch 1, um, if you're somebody that just wants to simply get to diamond rank solely because you want the Crimson Doomfist skin, you know, this video could be helpful so you can just hit diamond and then like unlock the skin and be done with it with rank if you choose to not continue with rank anymore. So these kind of things is gonna help you reach that goal a lot sooner than later. Without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video, shall we? Number one, having a growth mindset. Now, this is really important, especially if you're someone that's trying to rank up and get better, and also just rank up as much as you possibly can, and just have like a fun experience overall. Having a growth mindset is vital for your early stages of Overwatch. Now, there's some people that I come across, especially in my games, where they have a fixed mindset where they you know, blame the matchmaker for getting terrible teammates or not bound properly balancing them in good matchmaking. Looking at you 6v6, but you know, I would say more often than not, there's in the middle ranks, you shouldn't really necessarily blame your teammates or even yourself just because you're not getting the results that you desire or deserve. The reality is, it is up to you, and you're full responsible for your own rank. It's out of your control to expect anything from your teammates and to expect the matchmaker to always give you a balanced game. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, what I mean by growth mindset. So, if you're, if sometimes your instinct, if you lose a game, and you're like, oh, I'm not that good. Maybe I deserve to be in this ranks, or no, it's my teams that got me the loss and stuff like that. Just be, just have that mindset. It's like every time you get into a game, just be like, okay, we're gonna win this game. And I've been practicing a lot. I've been hitting the practice range. I play a little bit of quick play. I'm feeling good. You know, we're gonna win this game. I'm gonna carry the team. Nothing's gonna stop me. And then also when the game ends, you can have something like, oh, you can go from like, let's say if you lose, for example, if you lose the game, even if you're all hyped up or whatever, just go and just be like, well, I may have lost the game. However, at least I did well. I made some useful plays. I was, you know, helping my team out. I was using my ults more frequently. There could have been areas that I was lacking, but I would say I was doing well. And that's what you should have. Too often I see people just resort to blaming their teammates, or they just don't believe that they're good enough to climb. And that's just not true. And for someone that's as old as me, that's been at his peak for like, all of my early 20s of Overwatch 1, even though I was like really, really good back then, I'm like not as good as the ones before, but I'm still good enough to like get to high ranks, and hopefully at some point I could hit champion soon, and I can eventually like make content on like how to climb from level ranks all the way to champ. But that's just a goal that I want to work on, and just set yourself up for some goals. It might help your mindset, your growth mindset, a lot easier if you set goals for yourself. So maybe like I said, if it's diamond, this is good because generally from metals to diamond, it's not too bad. And if you want to go higher, just set a goal for yourself. Like, okay, I want to hit GM this season, and just play, and just like play to just always be trying to look at ways to get better, and that's what's going to help you climb the ranks. And with that, let's go on to the next one. Number 2, play only 2 or 3 characters max on each role. So for example, let's say if you play support, I'm a support main. Like for me personally, I will try to limit myself, and keywords try, because I'm only saying that is for as an excuse because I'm somebody that knows every hero. Maybe I don't play him as well as I would normally, but since I have a lot of time in this game, I'm kind of comfortable playing other characters. But for someone that doesn't really play, that doesn't have too many hours in the game, or still trying to like get better with characters that you enjoy playing, I recommend you stick with just 2 or 3 characters. So like for me, I only play Wu Ying and Alari, and then my third for rank is Brigitte. You know, it's like a little backup if I get like a brawl map, like Ilios or fucking Lijian or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then Wu Yang and Alari are just like for whatever map that is like more poke base, or more that has like a lot more flanks. I like to play those because I personally, to me, they have really good impact as a solo queue player like myself, and they generally generate a lot of value for you and your team, and that's what I like to do. When I play support, I like to provide and generate as much value as I possibly can as a support player. Now, for you, maybe it could be Ana and Zen, or maybe Bap and Lucio, or Kiriko and Juno, and vice versa. Like, just find what you find is the most fun for you, that works well with your playstyle and your mechanical skill, and just stick to them and keep playing off their strengths. Now, you might run into a point where you'll have a terrible matchup, like if you're on a player, and then you see they have a Mucky or Winston, and generally Ana's really bad at dive, right? Or against dive. So there's gonna be times you're gonna get jumped by them constantly, and they might deny your CDs pretty often. Now, what you do now, most players would do is resort to like counter swapping. Like, for example, you might go Brig, which not a bad option, but let's say they also swap it. They went to like fucking Ramatra or Reinhardt, for example, right? Which is terrible for Brig. They can just run her over, and then you all of a sudden now you switch to Zen to like apply Discord and stuff, and then they switch to like deal like back to Demon Monkey, and then now you switch to Juno or whatever. This try not do not counter swap what the enemy team might swap, because the thing is, you want to get better at your counters on like your main hero roster, and I had to learn this the hard way. Going from ranking up into platinum to diamond. It was like a tough pill to swallow, especially since like it's been a long time since I played rank. And generally speaking, play against your counters as much as possible, because that's going to give you the best learning experience on how to deal with those counters when you see them more frequently. You know what I'm saying? And and over time, you feel more confident in dealing with them if they are going to play those characters. So in the way how you can do this is pretty simple. Every time you die, just question like, oh, the Winston must have saw me, and he had his jumping bubble ready, and I just kind of just stood there and let him jump on me and fuck me in the ass, right? So what you could do in that scenario, if you question your death in that moment, you could be like, okay, now when I come out of spawn, I'm gonna play a little bit more closer to my second support, so that if I get dove, then I can get peeled a lot easier. Or or like you can switch your position, or you can rotate. Let's say if you can't do that, like you can't be next to your support or your team for that matter, then you can just constantly rotate. So let's say you do take high ground on Ana, or you're poking from an off angle for your team, and then all of a sudden you're a little bit isolated from your team. Just like the moment Winston or Diva lock eyes on you, just rotate. Like rotate literally immediately, and they're gonna either commit to you and use their cooldowns while you already created enough distance to poke at them while you're running away, or they might lose you in that moment, and then they wasted and they invested and jumped into your backline, and then they might get cooked for that. So yeah, do your best to just like be prepared for what's gonna happen, and just don't um stay in one place for too long. That's like another good advice I could give you for that tip. Now let's move on. Number 3, play your life more than kills. Now this might be a little bit more confusing, especially a game where you want to get picks and stuff like that. But generally speaking, in my personal opinion, you generate so much more value staying alive than getting kills most of the time. And what do I mean by that? So, in case I'm pretty sure like if you die, it's pretty punishing, right? You're leaving your team vulnerable for a while, especially support. If you die support, that's generally the worst thing you could possibly do, right? And in that moment, you're not generating ult charge, you're not applying pressure to your team, you're not keeping your teammates alive, you're not providing any sort of usefulness to your team, and at least your team like crumbling and struggling, and then they eventually crumble and they die and fall with you, or there's a chance they might get a comeback, but it all depends. But in 5v5, it's kind of hard to pull, like especially like I said, if you lose the support early on, or even your tank, it's really hard to bounce back once that happens. So just play your best to stay alive as much as possible, because the longer you live, the more pressure you're applying, the more value you're providing, and also, most importantly, the more ults you're going to have for the economy exchange. And the more ults you have, the more opportunities you're going to carry team fights and win the game. Always remember, ults wins fights. So the more you stay alive, the more you're going to generate ults. And the more ults you're going to use, and the more chances that you're going to win more games. So just play your life as much as you physically can. And if you can get away with being aggressive as well while like not while playing your life, you're gonna see massive results, especially in our metal ranks. The metal ranks is like, I would say, a lot easier to get this kind of value. Well, I wouldn't say easy. It's a lot more um you can take advantage of this a lot more frequently than the higher ranks, I think, because sometimes it could be depending on like your positioning and all that other good stuff or whatever the case may be in the higher ranks. But in metal ranks, this is really important. And if you could do this consistently, you're gonna carry games, I promise you. All right. Step number 4. Stop blaming your teammates. Now, this is like sort of the same thing with number 1 about like you having a growth mindset. Now there's gonna be still gonna be times where you get a little frustrated. You're grinding, you've been playing the game for a very long time, and then you feel like you deserve the game. You deserve the win. You have so much damage done, you have so much healing done, or whatever. You've had so much impact on your team, and then all of a sudden, one or two of your teammates like keep dying off cooldown. They don't play ankles. They keep stacking on main with your tanks, or better yet, they just sit out in the open and get shot by the enemies constantly. And honestly, just understand that no matter how you feel in that moment or what you say or do, it's not going to really fix the outcome that or potentially put you in a better position if you blame your teammates. It's never a scenario where you blame your teammates and then you get a good outcome out of it. Like, sure, you might release some self-esteem, or um you might be able to like cope a little bit and feel better about yourself, but the reality is, more often than not, it's just gonna affect you over time as you like trying to play more and more games, and it might linger onto you for a while, and then you might think about it like as you're playing the next game, and it's just, on my opinion, it's just pretty bad to do. So just understand that your team will always inevitably play bad at times, and it's just nothing you can do about it, and it's out of your control. So once you can accept that and understand that there's nothing you can physically do to make your teammates play better, or even like somewhat reasonable, what at least I can't speak reasonably well, then I would say just don't focus too much on your teammates. Is what I'm trying to say. Just don't do it, bro. Don't blame your teammates. Just focus on yourself and focus on what you could do to not only improve your mechanics, but also what you could do in order to win that fight, win the game for your team, even if your teammates are to blame. That's another thing. Number 5, take angles or flanks often. Now, um this could be a lot easier and harder for depending the hero that you play. So like, let's say if you're DPS, if you're like a hit scan player, I would say, if you could play high ground and display like off angles as often as you physically can, you can generate so much value for your team. And also help your tank, be able to hold W key a lot more consistently if you're applying pressure. Now, the thing is, this this alone will automatically win you games than you lose. The moment when you can make the enemies turn their cursor to you, to the compared to your rest of the team, and if you could do this for like, if you can make pretty much like half of the enemy team look at you compared to your team, I guarantee you, and I quite literally mean guarantee you, you're gonna win the team fight more often than not. I swear to God, bro. Like, I can't tell you how many times that I've distracted like two of their supports and a DPS all at the same time. And even if like I die, like hold them for like a good few minutes in that moment, I win. I just straight up just win that fight just for that impact alone. Now sometimes, depending how your timing, this could vary, of course. Like if you time it well enough, like before, like during the team fight, this will automatically win you the fight straight up. As long as you don't explode, obviously, right? If you are good enough for your angles, and you're like playing your life, like I said, and then you also make sure you have like your big cooldowns up for like in dire situations, so you keep yourself up alive, then you're gonna see massive results. I promise you, bro. It's quite literally like a game changer. You're gonna like see so many, especially the metal rings too. The metal rings, it takes them a lot of times. If you can surprise the enemies very well, get behind them and poke at them, there's often times you'll even get to pick yourself, and sometimes you won't even like get hard focus, and you can just straight up win the team fight all by yourself for doing that. And in metal ranks, like enemies take far too long to look back at you if you time it well enough. So yeah, just try to play angles as often as you possibly can, and I promise you, you're gonna like be surprised at how many games you're winning for doing it over and over again. But make sure you have the timing well. Like, don't do it too late and don't do it too early. Like, kind of do it right around when the team fight actually starts, and you'll see great results. I promise you. Number six, manage your CDs or cooldowns. Now, with this one, this is especially important for a game where cooldowns in this game, cooldown exchange matters more than any other hero shooter that I play. Like Rivals, for example, I would say the cooldown exchange most of the time doesn't matter since there's like you have so many cooldowns in that game that you can almost get away with just spamming them without really being punished too hard. But with a game like Overwatch, you're if you miss time your cooldown or just waste it off cooldown, then you're at a huge disadvantage off rip. And you know, the higher you climb, the punish window for the enemy team to capitalize on that is a lot greater for that. So let's say if you are playing BAP, and you know BAP has really two of his cooldowns are very high impact and they take a long time. And the moment you waste both of them right away, you're acceptable to die. Like Monkey will just eat you alive, Diva will just eat you alive. Pretty much anybody like Genji, Tracer, like you're just free eats for them pretty much. Now what you want to do, because what most players would do is like when they see themselves in danger or they see the teammates in danger and they lost a little health. Like too often I see Baps just throw their lamps at like a half HP like DPS or tank, and that's just not the correct way to use you know his cooldowns. He Bap, like for example, he has really good healing just from his normal gun, and even if like unless they're like really caught out of position, don't waste your big cooldowns. Like, because there's gonna be times where your team will naturally take cover and just wait to get healed up. You don't, and I see this all the time with Kiriko. I'm sorry to get off topic, but with Kiriko especially, I see this a lot, and I'm pretty sure you guys see this too, where your Kiriko will heal you, you're behind cover, and she just randomly throws Suze at you when you're not taking any damage. I'm pretty sure you guys seen it all the time. It's bad. Don't be that guy. Don't waste your big cooldowns on unnecessary circumstances. You know, use it when it actually matters. Like if you see like your teammate's about to die, that's when you want to use Suzu. Or if they got hit with a debuff, use Suzu. Or if you notice like Zarya uses her shift. I mean uses her ultimate. You know, use your lamp around the cup like somewhere where it can protect your team and also be safe. And also, yeah, don't just like throw it like your lamp, your immortality field out in the open where it gets destroyed instantly. Try to use it smart and be, you know, place it behind cover so it doesn't get destroyed by the enemies and like instantly, you know. Try to get as much high value with your abilities as much as you possibly can. This will carry your games as well. And it can't be understated. Don't and just do your best to not just use them because, you know, you need to use it now and this is a dire moment, blah blah blah. Just kind of read the room. If you for sure see that using this cooldown at this right time will save your teammates or yourself, do it. But if you see that you yourself or your teammates are in a safe spot where they're not taking any damage, don't waste your abilities on them. Just heal them naturally. And same thing if you're shooting the enemies that's DPS. It's like if you see that another thing is too if you see like the enemies has like their cooldowns and you have yours, kind of like poke at them with your primary before using committing your abilities. Because more often times, if you apply enough pressure, they'll use theirs first, and then once they use theirs, like for example, Reaper, if you shoot him like a soldier, you poke him down from afar, and then you make him waste his ray form. That's when you want to like maybe get a little bit more aggressive and then just like use your Helix rocket and all that other stuff and whatever, you know, use your dynamite and stuff like that on Ash just to like apply that additional pressure. Like kind of play that game. Like if you can force the enemies to use their cooldowns before you do, you will be at a huge advantage, you know? Be at a huge advantage. The cooldown exchange matters and try to take advantage of that as much as you possibly can. Number 7, manage like positioning. Positioning is key. It is by far probably the most important skill you could possibly master in this game. And I'm saying this as someone that's been in top 100 before, and it took me years to for me to understand that back in Overwatch One. Now, in this current Overwatch now, I would say this is something that I need to get comfortable with again because there's a lot of new maps that I'm not too familiar with still, and there's a lot of things that I need to pick up to like get better with the layouts and the maps and stuff like that. But other than that, though, yeah, like this is something that's going to take a long time to understand. But basically, generally speaking, with positioning, just always play around natural cover, like, and always be next to like, try your best to be next to health packs and your teammates, like, and always, and I mean always be in LOS of your supports as much as you physically can, while also keeping a good position. Because too often, and even as a support player myself, too often I see my teammates leave LOS and then they constantly complain like, like where's the heals, when they've like not only like isolated themselves away from the supports like me, but they also are behind on cover where I can't hit my abilities. Like no healer that I know can just heal through walls. I mean, there's Kiriko that can TP through walls, but then she's putting herself at risk if she's committing to you to come to heal you and soothe you and stuff. Then she might die if you get indulged by 2 or 3 people. Then you just leave her to die as well. Don't be that guy and be completely out of LOS. This is stupidly common in metal ranks, and it's ridiculous how often I see it. But just do your best to not be that guy, because if you minimize it yourself, you're gonna like win a lot of games. Because since it's common, just more likely the enemy is gonna do that as well, and then complain their team, and it's gonna also put them in a bad mood, and you can easily get a win for doing that for that as well. So like play smart. Pay attention to where your team is doing as well. Like pay attention where your teammates are and play accordingly around them, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And you'll do just fine. I promise you, man. Just keep in mind that that's like a very important skill. It's gonna take time, but if you keep practicing, I guarantee you're gonna see some great results, and you might even like awaken a certain skill that you never even thought was possible, and you're gonna feel good about it. I can promise you that, bro. It's gonna be a good time. All right, number 8. Don't queue after 2 or 3 losses in a row. Now, I know the temptations kicks in. Like maybe let's say if you just logged on, you had um pretty long day at work, like your typical 9 to 5, and you just want to come home. Maybe like practice a little bit on your aim and get on and practice range, and maybe even play quick play to warm up, and then you log in the rank, and the first thing that happens is like you get 2 losses in a row. Now, there's a good chance that you're gonna be a little tilted, and you don't want to put yourself where you're tilt queuing. That's like the worst thing you could possibly do in this game. Overwatch requires a lot of focus and mental strength to be able to consistently perform at a peak level. And the moment you lose that, even just a fraction of it, will set you up for failure. And I mean this for someone that's been playing rank, and sometimes it's tricky for me to like get out of like diamond to masters. Like it happens a lot too, because I'm somebody that doesn't have a lot of time to play this game as much as I used to. So this is very important in my personal opinion. Very important. I feel like you should do this. You should like the moment you take 2 losses, and like this is what I do all the time. Well, after I take 2 losses, I take a break. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I'll do a push up, have a glass of water. I'll just take a few minutes and then just come back and try again. Or what I sometimes do is like, especially after 3 losses in a row, if I lose 3 games in a row, I'll stop and think. I'll maybe do a VOD review on myself to see what I'm doing wrong, and in some cases, I'll even switch my account to like my alt account to like maybe practice a little bit on that account and play for a little bit on there, and then switch back to my main account once I'm ready. But don't fall in the trap of queuing and queuing after loss and loss and loss, man. You're gonna like regret it, and you're gonna waste a lot more time getting back to where you were, and it's just not gonna be a fun experience overall for you. So if you catch yourself, especially if you're tilting, just catch yourself early enough and just stop and don't queue and just take a break, man. It's gonna save you a lot of time, stress, and you're gonna um gonna be glad that you didn't queue because I've been there where I've kept queuing and then all of a sudden I lost 8 games in a row and it was not fun and I literally deranked. Like I went down 5 whole divisions for tilt queuing, man. It's just not fun. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. The moment you get those 3 L's like straight in a row, just stop, bro. Promise you, you're just don't do it, man. Promise. Trust me, don't do it. Just don't do it. Number 9. Turn off in-game music and also any background distractions or sounds while you're in the game. Now, by default, like if you haven't like messed with your audio settings, there's a good chance you still have the in-game music on. And although the in-game Overwatch soundtrack is fire, like that shit is a banger. The thing is like this is it's gonna distract you. It's gonna like throw you off of what you're trying to focus on. Like if you watch like streamers and stuff like that, you might notice a lot of them have like their music off. Like they don't have any music, especially like from Spotify and stuff, or they have like any sort of background noise. You want to eliminate as many distractions as possible. Overwatch requires full attention, and if you have like the in-game music on, and also like maybe like YouTube or a podcast on and stuff like that, you're gonna like miss important cues, audio cues that you might need to like help you get an edge on someone that's trying to surprise you and stuff. So there's often times where I come across players that literally blast music at a high level in rank, and it's just crazy to think like they're not the issue of why they didn't hear, you know, getting flanked by a Genji or Hanzo or whatever, right? So just don't be that guy or girl and have anything other than the gameplay playing in the background. Just have only the game playing, and this will help you a lot as well. If you keep everything off and you just only hear the game, like even if you're in a Discord call, like if you're in a Discord call, like just deafen yourself, because you don't want people be talking and distracting you and maybe getting you off the topic or what you need to focus on. Like if you're in a Discord call, the best thing to do is either leave or deafen yourself. Don't I personally recommend don't have anybody talking to you or don't have anything in the background while you're playing and trying to improve and focus. The moment you lose focus, then you're just gonna like there's a good high chance that you're gonna like underperform and lose your game because of it. So I recommend you turn off your music and all that stuff. Number 10. Don't be too passive and be proactive. Now, this is also another common thing I see in the middle ranks. And I even sometimes see this on dive tanks, and it's like pretty insane to see where the payload princess does not really do too much for the team. The thing is, you want to always be finding ways to apply pressure to the enemies, like before, after, and even like during the team fight. So let's say you had a team fight where you just cleared the whole enemies and like your team's captured your point. You want to be taking initiative right away and start applying pressure as soon as possible. So like if you know their spawn, like the enemy spawn, play at a nice safe angle where you know you can't die and you're still relatively close to your team to get help. And do your best to like keep applying pressure because you're gonna be wasting the time, you're gonna generate some ult charge. Now, there could be you might say, oh, but if I damage enemies, they might not die and I'm feeding them support ults. Well, guess what, it still doesn't matter. Do it anyway because your ult is going to be infinitely more valuable than the enemy's ult, because more often than not the enemies is going to misuse their ult and you can instantly shut down their ults with yours, because good chances you'll have yours before they will if you keep applying pressure. So don't use that argument that they're gonna get their support ults quickly because you're damaging them. Still do it anyway. Your numbers are gonna go up. You're gonna be proud that you're gonna take more risks, and you're gonna be more generally happy to see the results that you put out. So don't be too passive. Always take the initiative to be doing something. Anytime like anytime you don't see anyone, just W key and this, break havoc. You know what I'm saying? Just keep constantly applying pressure to enemies as often as you physically can. That's the name of the game. You want to be proactive and not reactive. All right, and now the last step, number 11. Accept and learn from your loss. Now, this is probably like one of the hardest things that any Overwatch player can possibly face. Just understand that a loss is not necessarily that bad. Just know that oftentimes, like it's not. Oftentimes, it is your fault, but understand that sometimes you can't always win them all. It's inevitable. You're gonna have games where you're gonna lose. You're gonna have games that you might not always play at your peak. You might be tired, you might be out of energy, you didn't eat, you didn't drink, you didn't work out, and that's okay. Understand the situation, self-reflect on the outcome of the game, and just and ask yourself, like, what I could have done differently, what I could have done to win us that game. What did I miss my cooldown at a crucial time? Did I go in too early on an engagement and get myself picked off? Was I was I like, did I not have my ultimate ready before overtime hit? Did I get picked off before the last team fight even started? There's a lot of factors that come into play while you're in rank, and that could cost a loss. Just know that just own up to it and use that as a learning experience to do better the next game you play. And the more you can accept that, you're gonna feel better about yourself. You're gonna be more confident naturally because you know deep down that you're better. You're a really good player. And the only thing that could hold you back is like you not like learning from the mistakes that you made in your last games and your past games. Always self-reflect and always know that you can always improve and do better to win games. Because if you can keep this up, you'll win more games than you lose, and in the more games you win, you'll inevitably rank up. And that's the thing, you don't necessarily need like a 90% or 80% win rate. If you can maintain a 55% win rate on average, you will inevitably rank up no matter what, because you're going to be winning more games than you lose. And if you're winning more games than you lose, you're just going to naturally rank up. It might take a long time, sure, but that is just, you're going to win, you're going to rank up. It's inevitable. So if you can maintain a 55% win rate, you're already in the right step, and you're gonna climb out of the metal ranks in no time. Well, maybe not no time, but it's gonna take a while. But you get what I'm saying. You're gonna rank up regardless. It's inevitable. Now, like with me, I think I have like a 60. My win rate is not that high myself too. Like on certain supports, I have like a 65% win rate, which is pretty good. It's exceptional for sure. But just know that even with a 55, you'll be just fine. You don't need a insane high win rate to win games. I mean, to rank up. You know, and that's my thing. That's my thoughts. Also, now if you stick around to the end, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Now, what inspired me to do this? Well, in case you didn't know, or if I didn't mention in the beginning, I was a RUA student. Like I did like coaching from RUA from Awkward. And I'm not a some paid sponsor. Awkward himself or anybody behind RUA did not pay me to, talk about them or make positive feedbacks. But from my personal experience, being with a student with them for like 2 months on a premium subscription, I could tell you from my personal experience that it was pretty good. I got my, the price of the course is a little pricey for sure. Yes, I'll admit that. I think it was a little too much, but for what it's worth, for how serious I was at the time to try to improve and get better at the game, I would say it's worth it. Especially if you know that you can make that money back in no time. Honestly, not a bad investment in my opinion. Would I go back? This is good. Definitely would. I would go back. Maybe I would go with the basics because I think like I could do just fine with just the basic version alone. I'm not too sure because my time schedule is like a little short, so it's like it might be hard for me to get value out of RUA, especially since I'm pumping out content myself, right? So yeah, now if you are somebody that doesn't want to spend money on coaching, that's totally understandable. If you just implement what I said and constantly practice this over and over, and you don't give up, then you're already up for success. I can guarantee it. And that's the thing. Everything I said, if you can implement at least, maybe not all of them, I'm not saying you need to implement all these things at once. Like, if you could do one at a time, or at least implement some of these strategies, you're gonna benefit it greatly. You just don't give up. That's like the last thing. If there's like another tip I wanted to give, just don't give up. Always believe that you can always get better at the game, and you can definitely achieve your goals. If you can have that mentality, I can promise you you'll do just fine, and you'll see diamond. Like diamond is not really that hard to reach, in my personal opinion. After some time, you know, it's not that bad to get to. You'll get there. You just gotta believe in yourself. And with that being said, um, it's been your boy Die. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Um, be a lookout for some more videos like this, more guides and more tips and tricks and stuff like that for all the games that I play, or just games in general. Because I'm very passionate about just sharing my wisdom and knowledge with a lot of you guys, and you guys mean the world to me. And I just like putting out content like this because this is something that I've been passionate since YouTube's ever came out. And with that being said, just always remember, work hard for your money, or in this case, your SR, or die trying. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Uh, Deuces. Bye bye.